Hey, what's going on here?
Ah, gee, what's the big idea, Uncle Popeye? You spoiled our 4th of July.
Listen, kids, fireworks is too dangerous. I'm gonna see that you has a safe and sane 4th of July.
Who wants to be safe? Yeah, and who wants to be sane?
Just a minute, kids, and we'll all play some nice games.
Come on, Uncle Popeye. Let's play baseball.
That's a good game. Let's go. Okay, boys, here comes me famous Dipsky Doodle drop pitch. Strike one.
Come on, let's get our fireworks and have some real fun.
Stand by, boys. These hot dogs will be barking in a minute. Hornets! Hop in, boys. We's gonna have a nice drive in the country.
That's swell, Uncle Popeye.
And away we go, boys. I hope you kids is enjoying the countryside. It's beautiful. Why, them rascals, they double-crossed me. Look out!
And one fish, two fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish, blue fish. And one fish, two fish. And a red fish. Alrighty, happy Thursday. Okay, Twitch is good. I've got a crazy kitten in the room with me. So this should be interesting. She's been driving my partner crazy. He's been driving my partner crazy. So I'm going to keep him locked in here with me for a little bit. But he is just wired. Anyhow, let's go check YouTube for a little bit. But he is just wired. Okay. Anyhow, let's go check YouTube. Okay, YouTube's fine. Twitch is fine. I'm about ready to start working on getting the Country Gal outfit, which I'm calling Creekside, submitted. If I can get on the ball, I can get that submitted tomorrow. And I'm not sure what I'm going to do after that. I got to come up with something else. In the meantime, I think I'm going to work tonight. I'm going to work on tropical plants. I was thinking of doing something for Charles, but Charles isn't going to be with us tonight. And I've got a cat hanging on my pants. Oh my gosh, this is just a bundle of energy. Anyhow, I'm going to work on tropical plants and Blender, I think. I have my palm tree. I have him locked in with me, so he's going to whine a bit. You know what? I'm not going to say that. I think I'm done with that. Sonhead, what you whining about? Actually, I'm going to go ahead and open the door. I'll be right back. Of course, now there's a kitten in the way. I'll leave the door open so it doesn't feel trapped. And he just ran right back in. After all that mewing. All right, what are we doing? Oh, there's Blender. I did a palm tree. I want to rework. You know what? I think I'm going to... I'm thinking. How am I going to do these? Well, let's bring the palm tree up if I can find it again. Is it in my recents by any chance? Yes, it is. Save changes before closing. Don't save. There's our palm tree. Let's come over here. So I have it kind of laid out like that. I think what I want to do is I want to maybe have this ball thing. I think the only thing I want to do is maybe put a little transparency map on this thing so it blends a little better in with this. And I'm not sure, can you do that? I probably have to do this. And what I probably do is probably come along and follow these. So I can probably, why are my leaves not lining up right? Wow. I UV mapped them so they line up. If I put you in Daz, I want to dump this into Daz real quick and see how that's working out. And I'm going to make about 6 different palm trees, I think, different sways. And then we can kind of instance those as we need them. And what I might do, you know what, I might just stick some grass up around the base there too to kind of help block that out. That'll be part of the overall palm tree, and I probably should. You know what? I could probably stick some blades in here on the UV map. Anyhow, I think I exported this. And if we come into the UV editor, and if we come over here, we step out, we select the leaves, and you can see my leaves are kind of lining up. Do I have transparency maps in here? Is that the problem? Is my trans maps not lining up with these? You know what that might be. These just look like they don't line up though. But you look like you're lining up okay here. What sort of strange going-ons? What sort of strange happenings are going on over at the Circle K? That's what we want to... I don't know, let's try this. I got Daz in the way, and if anybody came into the chat, can't see him. Let's export you. I think I've exported as an OBJ, and we'll just see how it lines up with this map. And I think I kind of just assembled this in... I probably should touch it up in whatchamacallit. Can you do clone painting in Substance? That would be handy. I'm thinking. I don't know, let's just get this exported out. See how... If I really do have problems, or if it's just some sort of weirdness going on in here. So, F6 that. You know what, that's probably the palm tree from June 20th. It's probably been about that long. So just overwrite. And you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to say selected only, didn't I? Let's choose the Daz preset, so we're doing selected only. And we'll overwrite that. And we'll come in here and we'll bring it into here. That's the import button right there. I think you're in plants. And palms is probably Palm 2026. There's that OBJ. We'll get that in here. We'll throw the texture on it. Let me see if I can figure out where I did with that. It should be somewhere near the... there they are. I'm going to put that on screen too so I can drag and drop. I should be able to just drag all of these on like so. Let's start with the base color. Was that a tiling texture? Did I pick that up? You know, that looks okay. It just looks weird in Blender. Is that it? Frickin' Blender. You know what? I need to... Let's put my generic shader on here. It makes it easier to work with. And I'll just put the opacity map here. I'm going to tweak the opacity map for the bulby thing. And I probably should give bulby thing a name. Just put the... into the base color. See, that looks okay. I'm not sure about the shape of the bulby thing. Honestly. I want to take a look at how this is rendering out. You know what? That's probably not too bad. I could probably put a sub D on there and I'll smooth it out a little bit. the leaves could probably stand to use a subsurface or translucency value, so maybe we'll put that on. We'll just use the leaf color to do that. There's a couple other things that we still want to add into here. So I do have a height map. I don't think I did a... Hold on a second. All right, we're coming back. There we go, buddy. Here, we'll open up the camera. That way, if I'm joined by the cat, you're joined by the cat. Let's put the sub-D modifier on here. I'm in the wrong thing. Let's finish putting the material files. I should probably make a bump map. I could probably do that with Substance. Actually, and in Substance, I can probably paint in the, you know what? We're going to dump this into Substance and work on it there. And do I need this to, or can I just use, I'm going to save a version with no materials and we'll put it in the Substance. Actually, I don't really need materials for this either. Although I like by default just automatically separated out the fronds from everything else. And I think after that, then I can just basically take this and bend it a few times and twirl it around some. Or maybe we'll spawn out a couple of others. Yeah, we'll do that. Because we'll just use the same mapping. Yeah. Okay, back to Blender. I'm going to re-export this. We'll do no materials. Do that, override. Because I can generate out a normal map from the height map in Substance. It has the ability to do that, so I'm going to take advantage of that. And the other maps are already good, so here, we'll do that. Then I'm going to try to... I'm going to add some grass around the base, right? I want some other leafy... I want a fern thing, and I want a flowery thing. So, and also, there's the fan palm, so we'll try to do some fan palms too. Mostly, we're going to be working with big planes like that, and just kind of bending them around a little bit. And generally, I'm going to want like maybe at least 6 of each. So after I get done with this one, and then what am I going to do for the grass? You know, I can just slide the grass. You know, the grass is going to get its own map. Never mind. I've already got most of the palm tree done. And I'm launching. I want to do a little bit of work in Substance, so we'll get that up and running here. That's the wrong button. There's the button. There's Substance Painter. We're going to use the height to normal filter to generate our normal map. I do want to separate it because I then want to use translucency. Actually, I can make a translucency map in whatchamacallit. in in Photoshop. And there's our little buddy. All right, want to sit in my lap? Close that. File. New project. Select. Projects. Plants. Palms. Palm 2026, and that one right there. Create. Oh no, failed to load. Why did you fail to load? Well, let's take a look. Let's open it up in here and see what maybe has gone wrong with it. You look okay. Let's see what it says here. I can never. Which way is which? Error has been found in splitting meshes per UV tile. Loading failed. 3D loading failed. Splitting UV meshes. You know what? It's possible. Yeah, it says I've got faces spanning multiple UDEMs. So let's clean that up a little bit in here. Oh, you know, it's that thing. It's because I wanted that to tile. Is there a way to do tiling textures? And that's kind of janky, isn't it? Can I space those out evenly? I can vertex line these. Okay, I did that on purpose so that this texture would tile, and it's got tiling on it. I mean, the other option is just to shrink this down and shrink my texture to fit. And the idea is that we would then tile. I probably should just do that. Control L. And I'm going to put the 3D cursor down here and we'll scale to it. I don't know, where's the 3D cursor, and then I can just scale you. Are you not nudging? what the hell are you doing? Is it because it's pinned? I think I have to unpin it, don't I? No. You're just not. Oh, there we go. How are we looking at the top? Probably doesn't make any difference now. Wonder if it's going to look weirdly stretched now. That's the thing. I probably should redo. I don't know. So scale X. We just pull you out like that. And do you look okay like that? Or do you look weird? You look a little weird. I'd probably need twice the density on this. So we'll pop this over into Photoshop and tweak that a little bit. Which means I got to do all three. And oh, fortunately we have this open with. I have the actual PSD file still. And Chris can never find open with because it's always in a different spot whenever I right click on something. Here we go. So I want that. I want that. And what do I need? I need an opacity, so I don't need an opacity for that. But I do want the grayscale and that, because I think that grayscale is the bump map. Hey, E.T., how are you doing? Let's try this. Actually, let's duplicate these. I'm working on a palm tree. I'm doing well, thanks. All right, that works. Now I want to stretch these down. I got a line in here. That, and that. Control D, Control T. Nope. Let's try this again. That, and that, and Control T. And then this needs to just get in here somewhere. Probably like so. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and add. I want kind of a trans map on this part here. I can probably just do that while we're in here. And then I don't really need Substance Painter, do I? Oh, yes, I do. I'll just do it in Substance Painter. Doesn't make any difference. So let's resave. Let's bring you back down here. Let's hide these. Let's re-export this back out as a color map. File, export as, export. Okay, we are working out of this directory here. We're going to overwrite that. Okay, we're going to hide the color maps. I don't need that. I'm going to hide you. Hide you. I need that. And these two. And those are the height maps. I don't need to fix the opacity map, so it should be fine. I'm going to overwrite that. Let's replace that. Yes, please. And the reason I'm using Substance is so I can generate out a normal map with this. All right, let's try this again. So let's re-export this. Let's come into here. See if we can get this to work now. File, new project, select, There it is. Yay. I'm gonna resave it because I need to smooth some things. Shade smooth. All right, now we'll re-export. And then we'll re-import. I think I can just do this, re-import mesh. There we go. The leaves are still looking janky. Let's fix those. Did you shade smooth? They don't look like they're shading smooth to me. I'm still seeing the thing. I think what I need to do is make the tweak the angle even more. That didn't do anything. That didn't do anything because I still see that crease right there. Are these things sharps? I have no idea what the hell happened here. I guess I'm going to just live with that. All right, let's load in our textures. File, import resources, add resources. And I'm going to make some adjustments. I'm going to go ahead and custom out the roughness map, kind of based off the opacity map a little bit. So we'll make the leaves shinier than the rest of it, is basically what I'm going to do. I'll do that with Photoshop. So I'm going to just take these two into here. And I just need these. I'll make them both textures. I'm just going to be lazy that way. Import those. Okay, let's put a fill layer on here. I want a color and a height map. We'll use you for the color. We'll use you for the height. Well, you know what? I also want an opacity map. Let's get that in here. We done forgot our opacity map, which is right there. I'll just call you a texture. Import that. I should call it an alpha, but I'm being lazy. Opacity, and we'll just put that there. Can't actually see it in here. We'll switch over to one of these shader settings. Where is this thing? Is it here? Oh no, it's right here. If I do this, do that, now we can kind of see our opacity in here. Okay, what did I want? And the real reason I wanted to do this is I want to put a normal, height to normal filter so I can generate out a normal map. Add a filter. Height to normal. The default is just whack, so we always have to take that down a little bit. That's probably going to be better. If we take a peek over here at the normal map, that's not a bad looking. That'll do. And then what I want to do is I want to tweak the opacity map just a little bit. So I want to blend this in a little better. So we're just going to paint in along kind of the texture at the bottom here. I think this lines up on the bottom. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm going to put a paint layer in there for that. We're going to switch back to materials. Although what I probably, yeah, I need this material because I kind of have to see this. And we're just going to paint on the opacity layer. So we'll do, there's just so little room when I'm streaming. Okay, not the color, but the opacity. We're going to paint in black. So I'm going to make that small, make it hard. And the idea is I'm just going to run it along. And you, of course, I don't see a thing. You know what? Maybe I could just, I should make it small so I can kind of, so I'm kind of just going to follow along. I think I just painted through to the, I want this to paint just UV map. Right now, tangent wrap, so we're painting through to the trunk. I don't want to paint through to the trunk. I just want to paint through here. That seems to be going horribly wrong. It seems to be painting so much further. Oops. I'm bleeding through, so I'm going to have to touch this up later on. I don't know if this is worth the effort. You know, it might be. I'm having my. Yeah, I think that's a bit of an improvement. There's this weird little gap in here, but you're not supposed to get this close to the palm tree. And I think I've gotten all the way around. I think that kind of broke it up a little bit, so it looks a little bit better. All right, I'm going to make a roughness map in Photoshop. So we're going to save out, and actually, you know what I need to do is I overpainted a little bit in here, so we got to clean that up. Down here, you can see I got a couple of little bugaboos. So we'll just paint those back in, like so. So that fixes that. I'm planning on a whole environment at some point. I want to do kind of a tropical resort, a cyberpunk tropical resort, a contemporary tropical resort. I'm thinking about doing tropical temples. I have a whole series of tropical small sets, and so to that end, I want palm trees. I want to get some ferns made. I want to use some fan palms, which are lower, bushier things. I also want to make maybe a couple of flowery plants. So I have like 5 or 6 different plants, and then 5 or 6 different versions of each plant, and then I can fill in, and I'll probably need some grass too. And this way I can kind of fill in the grassy areas or the plant areas with something. And I'm thinking kind of like not teeny sets, but not really big sets, kind of, like 4 little huts or something in a set on kind of a ground plane with maybe a path and some trees. So, and I have an idea to do like a whole bunch of these things. The thing that's stopping me though is I just don't have the vegetation made. So I'm slowly building up my vegetation. So that's what we're doing today, working on the palm trees. And I think I can export this out. This will give me my normal map, and this will give me the updated updated thing. And you know what? I will leave the yeah, I can use translucency different from here to here. So we're going to do that. Control Shift E. We're going to do this. We're going to do a 6 channels because I need the opacity channel for this. I need to save this because right now it's not saving with a proper name. So we'll get rid of those. And I got to do, because the file name gets built into the texture names. So I have to remember to save this so it has a proper name. And you know what? You're going to be 2601. I'll do that. And then we'll save this. Control Shift E. And I'll do my 6 channel save. And we'll see where my export directory is. Looks good. I'm going to adjust the roughness map. We don't need a metallicity map with that. I already have a height map and the color map, so we don't really need to redo those. Although I like the fact they're all named like this. And I think these are good. So let's leave these, let's move these over to the palm folder. And I'm going to I have a grass. You know what? I should make a grass object. And I think I'm going to maybe put the grass object at the base of the palm. So we'll make separate grass objects and we'll use a few grass objects to cover the base of the palm. New folder, but anyhow, I need a palm, and eventually I'm going to reorganize all of this stuff when I start making project folders. So all these textures will get reapplied. But for right now, I'm going to put you in here. I'm going to open up my opacity with Photoshop. Because I'm going to use that to set my roughness values. And I might actually kind of blend it with this. Actually, where's my open with again? That's an open. Why can I never... Which one did I need? I wanted the opacity. Open with Photoshop. There we go. And then what I want is, I want this. I don't need this. The roughness on the leaves is going to be different than everything else. This just kind of gives me an idea of what's where. So I'm going to just come in here. This is going to be kind of a dark gray to make it somewhat of sheen. And then Control I. There's a Control Shift I. And this will be a light. So it's fairly flat. And then I'll Control Shift. That probably good. I think for translucent color, I'm just going to use the base color. I think that's good. So I'm just going to do File, Save as a Copy, and I'm just going to overwrite that roughness right there because that's just. And now let's go into DAZ and see how my master plan's coming along. I'm going to replant. I'm going to start it with these. Let's do this. So let's replace the base color with that. I now have a roughness map, so I'm going to plop that into the glossy roughness. I have an updated opacity map. I now have a normal map. And the height map is more or less the same, except it's a different texture now. And then the fronds, I'm going to do, and I have it hidden because I almost never use subsurface scattering. So here, let's do this. I got to, I have to view, show hidden properties. That's what we want. And we are looking for, I don't think I'm going to play with the glossy color. I am looking for subsurface scattering or something like that. I hate adjusting colors of the menus in DAS. Their color mapping is horrible because they use the same colors for textures as they do for some of the backgrounds. So you try to change a texture you try to change a texture color and you end up screwing up backgrounds somewhere else. I don't know if they've improved that in the 6 or not. I haven't looked. Translucency colors. There we go. So I need translucency weight for the frond. You know what? I'm just going to kind of dial that in, and we're just going to drag and drop that into there. At least I think that's what it's supposed to do. Yeah. Let me put a little bit of smoothing on here. Let's pop back over to the scene settings, and we'll just edit the geometry, and we'll convert to sub D so I get a little more smooth in there. And we'll just Control E, Control. Nope, that was wrong. Control Y. Control Shift. Oh, you know what I did? I Control D and it reset itself back to base. What I really wanted was Control R. Where are my lights? I got weird lights. Let me try to get something that's not as weird. Where's my light set? I'm going to turn off everything, but the rim light. I'm actually going to take the rim light and put it way up there. I kind of want to see what it does. I'm going to turn off these other fill light, the key light. I want to see if I'm getting some sort of translucency coming through there. I see nothing because I'm underground. Damn it. I keep forgetting. Let's not view the ground plane. Yeah, I'm not really seeing. I'm not crazy about that. I wonder if I can blend those in a little bit better. I don't know. I'll think about it. I can tighten them up and then re-export it, I think. So at least I don't get this really weird in here. Let me see if we can do this live. And if I tweak the rim light, if I can start seeing it come through. Over in here. I don't seem to be getting. All right, let's play with the settings on this. Maybe I should put a wax material on here and then go from there. Do I have a wax material? That way I can see if I'm getting any sort of, and then tweak that to fit. Because apparently this doesn't do what I think it would do. Translucency weight, I've got this translucency color. If I just lose that, does that do anything? See, I'm just not getting anything looking translucent through there, and it's because I really don't know what I'm doing. That probably doesn't help either. But I mean, if I look at this from the top, are we getting blown out on the top from all that light sitting up there? Where is my rim light, by the way? Oh, you know what? You're not where I think you are you? Maybe, maybe not. All right, where's my spread on that? Wait a minute. Let me just check something. Is my scene set up funny? No, I can kind of see it doing. So I am doing dome and seam. I can kind of see it illuminating the leaf somewhat. I'll probably play with it later. Did I put my normal map? Anyhow, I'm going to turn that off, and I'll just put an environment light in here and see how things are looking with that. And then we'll work on other plants. I've got 4 minutes before 8. It still gives me another hour to do things. Let's kill the rim light. And I just got these weird lights. Let's go. I'm going to move my content library over there for just a minute. Okay, that looks fine. All right, let's go down to categories and skies and sun and skies. And just do that. That's not looking too bad. What if I put the height map in as a displacement map? I'm experimenting now. I'm going to rehide. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, before I do that, currently used, does that help me close things up a little bit? Yep. And then if they're like the translucency weight, I'm going to set that to not be hidden. I'm going to set the glossy layer weight to not be hidden. I think the rest of this is fine. And then we're going to put a, and we'll come back here and I'll hide. And for displacement strength, I'm going to just use the height map. And I got to put a displacement number in there. Am I seeing anything? I'm not seeing anything. Maybe we kick you up a bit more. So the maximum's 12. I'm not getting any displacement out of that, am I? I should be seeing something. I don't know. Let's set the displacement values to be just whack. I'll just say 2, which is almost an inch. All right, I'm seeing something now. I think that's what it is. It's just my displacement. Maybe just needs to be wacky. Ooh, I like that. That's a win. And does that bump into the... And you know what? If I set this displacement will then just come through on that. Actually, they work together. I'm liking that. Let me see if I use the displacement on the leaves, if that makes a difference. Things are running slow but I don't have any. The way the light is, the leaves keep shading themselves. That's where the translucency value should come in, but I'm not seeing it. I never did really like the way DAZ translucency worked in DAZ. It never seemed to be quite right. I think I'm going to lower my roughness a little bit. I think my sheen is a little high on that, frankly. Or maybe we just swap so we still have Photoshop open. So we're going to make that a little bit lighter, I think. Maybe a little lighter than that even. I'll try that. I'll just save as a copy over the roughness. We'll pop over here and see if this updates. There it goes. I think that's going to be okay. What if I put the displacement on here now? I did that with that. Oh, I did it with the whole thing. So it actually has displacement on the fronts already. I can kind of see it, I guess. You know what? I'm happy with this. I think this will work. I can kind of, my only thing is I want to get the translucency and see if I can get it to work better. I'll play with it. All right. let's turn iRay off because I can hear it just chugging in the back, having the computer chug in the background. All right. Let me dupe that and make some alternate shapes. There's a, there it is. If I move you, nope. Oh, these ones. Do you all move together? You all do. Okay, so I can kind of dupe you. I need to see some shapes for palm trees. Oh, that's spam. And I can make some adjustments as we go. Images. So we're going to use this as a guide. So we'll just take a, kind of goes a little and bounces back, goes a little, bounces back. That is almost straight. See, there's an S shape, kind of like what I've got right now. And then maybe we'll do one, a real dramatic one. Let me see. So I should be able to, you guys are in your own category. Okay, we're going to close you off. We're going to grab all of you. And then what I can do is I can just dupe the collection. Hide that one, and then I can play with this. This started as a Bezier curve. Did I leave a version of that? I think I might have. Yeah, and then I can just and then we just move you to trio 1. Nope. We'll move you to trio 2. This one here. All right, looks good. I'm going to duplicate you a few times. That gives me 4, 5, 6. Can I do snap too with UVs? Maybe. Which means I probably want to copy of that. I'll worry about that later. Okay, hide you, hide all of these, open you up, get in here to the Bezier curve, and Probably good. You're one of these spheres, aren't you? You know what? I'm just going to grab this whole kit caboodle here. Are you mesh? Can I just do... No, I don't want to do that. So that'll probably be good for that. You got a UV mapping to you? No, I'm going to have to UV map you later. Um, let's see what we can do with this one. Tap in here. Can't see what I'm doing. There. That's what I want. Do a little proportional editing on that. I just set that to smooth. I think that'll work for that. Although I think my palm fronts are off a little bit now. Maybe not. You know, those aren't touching, are they? I should tweak the UVs on that. I could have sworn the UVs were clipping the ends of those. Okay, I think I'm going to call that one good. Yeah, that looks janky. And I think you know what it is? The UVs are janked on these anyhow. I can't trust what I'm seeing here because Blender just isn't doing this right. I think multiple transparency. It's just messing with my mind. So we'll start with you. I think I'll live with that. Actually, can I scale all of these? Quite right. Do want that rotate a little bit a little bit more. Is that good? I like that. And you know what? I'm gonna do one of those really weird windswept trees. I'm probably not going to use it much, but I think I'm gonna kind of like that. You don't, are you in the ground? You're in the ground. Like that. I think that'll be interesting. Does that look fine? That looks fine. Okay, now the idea is I got to get these all converted into mesh and then UV mapped nicely. Convert to mesh. And then we'll just tab in here. Just put a split in there somewhere. Mark a seam. 3AU. Unwrap. UV editing. You're looking like that. I'm going to flatten you out. You know what? I'm going to just pin. Oh, I got the wrong thing selected. Damn it. I'm going to just pin the corners. We'll use live editing on this and we'll fix it. So pin that. And I know I kind of have to just get it to fit this. Oh, I'm using proportional editing. Damn it. And are we doing live? There we go. We're now doing live. So I'm going to stick you in there. You get to go there. You're going to go in about there. You do that. Just pin those. Line that up like so. I have too much stuff selected or something. What the frick? I have those. Gonna scale on the Y. Oh, you're going with the. God damn it! Let's switch you back to medium point. That's better. I wish there was a way to space this out. Pin scale X 0 GX like that. Um. You know, my big problem is I can't space these out evenly like I really need to. And why did you live unwrap like that? In what world did you think that was a good idea? You know what I need? I need is like a grid, UV grid function. I thought I used to have one. Um, I think I've got things pinned. Let's unpin everything. Nope, those are just not working. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, I guess I could just pin everything and then line it up. That didn't do anything. What the hell? Did did I not say straighten Y? Straighten, nope. All right, let's see if I can figure out where the Blender UVs the grid. UV snapper, Blender extensions. UV squares, that's probably. It's in GitHub. Okay, where's the... I can never find the zip file for stuff over at GitHub. All right, we need the zip file. Where would you hide a zip file? Where would you hide a download? What is this? That's Blender Market. I probably should give this guy some money. There's the Python fix, but this should all come in a zip somewhere, right? UV squares. There is no packages. I don't understand. You know what? Let me see if I can just... Oh, it says I've purchased this. Damn, dog. Um, all right, let's download it. Are you not moving? Oh, where are you? It's crept over to the other side and I can't see what I'm doing. All right, let's go to the downloads. Let's get this. Let's copy that. Let's run over to the D drive. Let's go into the Blender 2. My Blender add-on file says Blender 2.8 add-ons. We'll pop a copy in here. Hey, Rod, how are you doing? Oh, I have a copy in here. I just have to install it. File. We're making palm trees and stuff. Preferences. Add-ons. Install from disk. Let's go to Blender add-ons. There it is right there. Install from disk. There we go. Do I get any instructions or anything that goes with this? I don't know. There should be. There it is. I see it on the. Let's unpin everything. Mowed the lawn today and was reminded you're not 30 anymore. You aren't. I'm sorry, Rod. Unpin. To grid by shape. Nothing. 3. Do that. To square by grid. Nothing. Keep UV and edit mesh in sync. I don't know. Oh, is that what's causing me? Nothing. I don't know. Let's see if we can find instructions for this. I don't want UV snapper. Where did I got that? Where did you come from? Documentation. Installation. Features. Shortcuts. Notes. Aligned. I don't know what this means. Oops, sorry about that. Let's turn that volume down a little bit. Actually, I don't even need volume. Actually, there it is. They make it look easy. They just select it and hit the thing. Hey, Napsmore, how are you doing? Where's my big screen? I don't want you to be full screen. I just want you to be theater. Theater mode. There we go. Oh no, an ad. Oh, and on YouTube, yeah. Okay, we have it unwrapped. All right, so let's follow along. Okay, we have it unwrapped. To grid by shape. This is okay. All right, this is the story of my life. Yeah, I get errors where he gets it working. Can I just smooth you out? What's that? Um, can we relax that or something? Now you have to do the backyard. I'm sorry, Rod. That UV. What options do I get in here? Anything? Yeah, these don't do nothing. Next, you get to tackle the backyard from now, but that's got to wait till you get the charger. Oh, so you weren't using the rider today? Oh, no wonder you're tired. If I just unpin everything but the corners and then UV wrap. And then maybe I can live. No, my pin. Although that helped. But that kind of. Let's try angle base. See, angle base gets weird because it gets funky in the middle. Conformal is weird. Minimize stretching does that. Great shape. Please disable keep UV and edit mesh in sync. Oh, I know. I suddenly realized what's wrong here. There we go. I had this thing clicked. I keep forgetting what that means. Scale. Oh, this is so much better. And then, you know what I need to do is I need to position this right down in this corner like so. Now I'm cooking with propane. And I'm going to put you right there. Then we're just going to scale on the X based on the 3D cursor. Get that out to there. And then scale on the Y. Okay, I figured out what I'm doing. I can get these other ones knocked out now. Okay, so that's UV mapped. And that gets a texture. Palm tree. Yay. Okay, moving along. Okay, convert to mesh. Yay, tab in. I need to split a seam. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm already good to go. I just need to make sure that this corner sets there. I just need to reposition you to that. Put you right there. Bring those over like so. Oh, you're at the top already. Okay, so that one's good. Put a material on that. And you are probably twisted. So our Z90. Kind of like that. Get that positioned. See, that's better. There we go. Probably good on that. Moving along. Convert you to a mesh. You used to live in a house with two other adults and their teenage children. Uh, okay. 3A. Actually, it has UV, but except we got a. And I'm going to set you back to medium for a second, and then RZ90. I can't tell which part I'm on. Okay, I guess I'm heading the right way. Okay, turn you back off. Actually, I don't need you. Okay, set you back to 3D cursor, scale X. And I think that should, oh, except I didn't put a material on it, so we don't see anything yet. There we go, that one. So that one's kind of done, I think. And unless I've gotten these backwards. Yeah, it looks right. All right, convert mesh to curve. Your wife is. I got a normal map. It's in my back pocket though. We made a map. We generated a normal map earlier with using Substance Painter. Um, right now, I'm just using the texture map as a guide. And now I forget what I'm doing. Oh no. Tab in. No, I'm converting to the mesh. Hard to find those old paper maps. Yeah, I know. Does anybody... I guess they still print those, right? I would imagine. You might still be able to find them in bookstores. Do they all go out of business? I think I've got a map of New York City or Brooklyn over here on my... And that map of England doesn't count because that's a war game map. And it's got hexes all over it. So it's not accurate. Convert to mesh. Yay. Let's run a little line through here. Mark that seam. Select all. We got to rotate you, but on the median. I got to slide you over just a little bit. I'm going to switch back over to the 3D cursor and then scale on the X. And that's probably going to be good. Always on. I like that. Yeah, but where do you plug the charger? I'm happy with that. I got to go back and check the other one I just did because I think the edge of that is off a little bit. Yeah, my edge is off on that, so I got to tweak that just a little bit. I think that looks fine now. I think I can pull that out just a hair more. Convert to mesh on that. Mark a seam. Um, oh, I gotta rotate you. Slide that in just a hair. Reset to be centered on the 3D cursor. Scale on the X. Probably good. Am I good here? I'm good here. Okay. Oh, I forgot to give this a material. Looks fine. Okay, how are you? I think this is the first one. I think I did you. Although, oh, there's the trunk. Yeah, and how are you looking, by the way? I need to maybe tweak you just a hair. I could tweak you just a hair. That's probably good to go. This one actually, a UV map. You know what? I'm not sure how that's going to really jank things up or not. It's because I've got uneven mesh density in here. I wonder if you can smooth. Oh, you didn't scale, did you? Or you scaled? You didn't scale. That's better. It needs a little bit of smoothing out on the. Is there a way to even these out? I don't know. Let me put some. I have no idea what I did over here. I was hitting a button and these little spheres kept popping in. I think I was like generating points or something. This is what happens when you fat finger commands. I pin you, except you just don't stay. Actually, can I just hide you? And we drag these down with a little bit of proportional editing. You know what? Maybe I should just. Why am I not seeing? See, this really needs to be all the way down. Now, is there just some way I could just kind of square it out? There we go. I like that. Oh, that was real handy. To grid by shape. I gotta remember that one. Oh, you got moved again. What the hell? I really hate the 3D cursor. It keeps moving on its own. And I think the top is good. Top's close enough. So let's see if we need to fix the other ones. So tree 1 is looking good. Tree 2. We fine over here. I'm real close on that. I'm gonna just take that back just a hair. And then we'll just put that right in there. So that's a little more better. Now that I know what I'm kind of doing here. I never gave that one a texture, so you can't see how it's all goofy. Um, Pretty close. Yay. I didn't get any of my plants started today. Oh well. At least I've got my palm trees mostly out of the way until I change my mind and redo them. I think you're upside down. Yep, I can kind of see. All right. And I'll clean up this last one here. You also were upside down. And also, they don't require a password in multi-factor. And if a cloud is involved, the only risk is the price. Yeah. Well, that and the whole folding it back thing. Not that I ever had problems folding maps. Yeah, we look at. You can leave it a little bit more there. I think those are going to be good for my trees. All right, we're going to export these out and we'll call it a night. I don't know. I got this tree. Let's just start back at the beginning. Okay, so that one's exported out as one. So this one will be two. And I'll just call it two. I'm just going to rename this other one. Is there a rename in here? I think there was. Rename. There it is. That's what I'm looking for. And then this one was going to be two. And selection only. Excellent. Okay, this one's going to be three. They're all using the same maps. This one's going to be four. This one's going to be five. And then I've got a sixth one, which is Goofy. Um, there we go. Oh, I didn't do any shout outs. Charles was in here and I forgot to. We'll start with our shout out for Shelley. Our good friend Napsmore was in the house. And I see Leo over there. Although I don't have a command that does anything other than.
This is Sparta!
Don't you hate it when a Spartan spits in your face like that? I think this is good. Let's pop him into here. I'm gonna save this as a material file. I need a folder for this. I'm just gonna stick it in where the sun don't shine. Do I have any active folders over here that I can use? These have all been killed. Combat Dude. I'm gonna just stick it over in Combat Dude for right now. Let's save you as a material preset because you've got all my settings, including normal maps. There we go. I gotta wait a minute while it does its thing. I'll get them in here and we'll do a quick render. Then we'll look for somebody to raid on Twitch. Hey, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. That would be awesome. On Twitch, we're going to go find somebody else to hang out with. Let's see who's on. Amaranth. The judges told me to stop raiding her. Where are we? Irumakin. You know what? We might go say hi to Irumakin tonight. That's what I'm thinking. 9 o'clock. It is time for raid the DJ Ray. But I think maybe. Ooh, Poverty DJ's on. You know what? I'm going to take us over to Poverty DJ, a DJ friend. So we're going to do that, and then I'm going to swing over to DJ Ray later tonight. Hey, my good friend Battooth Record. It's Thursday. That's right. Anyhow, are you done yet? Oh, you're still doing the thing. Okay, while that's going on, we have raid calls. If you're not a sub and you can join the raid, feel free to copy that. If you are a sub, you can use the sub raid call. There we go. Hey, I sell stuff at Daz. Feel free to buy. And there's the Discord. Feel free to join. We're still waiting for Daz to finish saving that material file. This is why I turn the CMS off usually when I'm saving lots of things. Most of this is it updating the database. The content management system. It is, what do we call it? Not fast. There we go. All right, happiness. Let's get the other ones in here. So this is tree 1. And we'll get the other trees in here. Are you my import? There's tree 2. Oh no, I got 2 trees in tree 2. Why is that? God damn it. Well, tree 2 needs work. There's 3. You know what? It's exporting the selected hidden ones. God damn it. Blender always has these weird selection things. All right, let's try this again. So if I select you, So that's all I have selected. Okay, let's try this again. F6, selection only, override 6. Deselect, come over here, click, select. Let's try this. F6, 5. And let's pop back over into here. So, okay, 5 is looking better. 6 is good. That was the wrong button. Five is good. I may make some tweaks to these. All right, deselect, select, click over here, grab all of that and export for 4. Three. And 2. All right, let's pop back over here and get these in. I'm probably going to flare out some of these on the bottom a bit, I think. What am I looking for? I'm looking for my import. There's my import. 2 looks good now. And 3. And 4. I should probably recenter 4 a little bit. I think the thing is we're going to probably change the origin points on a lot of these so that they're a little bit better. So they all kind of start at the very beginning of where the center of the trunk is. That's a novel idea, isn't it? Okay, so I have my selection of palm trees going on here. We can scale and stuff. Probably smaller and not generally larger. And I should be able, you know what, I can probably just copy and paste. No, I set up the things a little bit different. So we're just going to select all of these and then we'll just use that material file. And then we'll just use that material file, which I don't know, it's acting like I don't have anything selected. It's because I don't. Did you not? What do you all save? Did I save you all no materials? All right, never mind. we're gonna call it a night. Actually, I can kind of just copy and paste this one. It doesn't have the good settings, but I can kind of get a quick and dirty look on that. And with that, let's set this right up and go over to DJ Stulu. Or actually, we're looking at Poverty DJ tonight. /raid. I'm going to copy paste that from over here. I will be back on Saturday, 1 p.m. Charles had a request for doing some Norse lettering tattoos for a Genesis 8 character, so we might do that. We'll see. I was thinking I was going to do that, but then Charles said he wasn't going to be here tonight. So instead, I decided to work on palm trees. Why are you not doing anything? Because you're slow. I've got too many things open. You know what? I don't need this on in the background. There it goes. Anyhow, you know what? That's actually looking better than I had anticipated. Um, I'm getting some weird, but that's fine. I think these are going to work. These will do the trick for me. And now I got to work on some other vegetation that'll go on the ground. So anyhow, with that, thank you all for being here, and we're going to call it a night. Let's go see. Did I start the raid? I think I did. I did start the raid. I've got 4 viewers ready to go. Hey, I hope you all have a good rest of a Thursday or Friday for those of you on the happy side of the planet, and hasta la vista, baby. Bye, Rod. It's my hasta la vista. There it is.